Episode 105 is motherfucking underway. Oh, wait, no. Episode 105 was nihilism. So I want you to go check that episode out, as it's going to be wonderful to have these last few out of the way, as I'm getting into music and let's talk about music here, because after you get done hearing me talk about philosophy, conspiracy theories, and more digital and the tech side of conversational topics, it's a nice relief to be able to just talk about music again. I won't say I'm back doing music again, because my routine is doing music. As I'm doing music, it's like I'm needing, first of all, someone to interview me before I can talk a lot about my own creative process. And honestly, whenever I squeeze in some of what I'm saying about my own creative process in with somebody, when I'm interviewing someone else and asking them, I'm saying it comparatively, and I'm saying it to help draw out some more indulgence into the conversation, and it's enriching the interview that I'll have with someone. So having the break from other topics that come across, honestly, I think this bing bang boom ish thing going on with these episodes here of season 8 of Vault of Doom podcast, hosted by me, Mickey Gemini. The just all this stuff kind of is a relief to have more of just something different. Obviously, that's all I can really say that you can expect for next season. Just something different. I have announcements that I'm comfortable giving, and I give those announcements, and I create those announcements, and I publish those announcements to the public. And then what I'm not comfortable with, I don't. Anyway, this is going to kick off what you'll have to grin and bear going through before getting back to this. As the show is a music show hosted by a musician. So let's dive in. The topic is genre mixing. And that's where I want to get into some of the stuff. I would consider it to be sort of. I would consider this to be sort of the I don't mix genres much anymore. And so I'm like, you're hearing this go down during the metamorphosis process. It's sort of like a butterfly in the cocoon undergoing the metamorphosis. You know, am I really not mixing genres anymore? It's like, I don't think I could hardly believe that. I could highly think it reasonable at all of me to not mix genres anymore. What I can not mix genres in is my music. I can not mix genres anymore in the music that I create. I can hardly say I'll go a month without listening to any other genres. But what I do want to say specifically is when I'm feeling like listening to something, I'm going to listen to it. These are these are times when a lot of people are feeling that way. So, you know, you might be a little bit like subscribing to me and then hearing me and maybe showing this to your friends to fuck with them or something. And then hopefully you tell them, dude, I'm just fucking with you, man. Listen to what he's gonna say next. You know, like that should be part of the atmosphere I'm creating here at Vault of Doom Podcast. It does require a little bit audience participation. That you would be like digging this episode up just for that specific party or a little gathering, get together with a couple of your friends over coffee at the chill zone, and you say that, and then you go wait for it just to see his reaction or something like, hey, I'm kind of dubious about this, and then say, I'm just fucking with you, man, and somebody's gonna say next. So here's the fucking thing about the times that we're living in right now. There's a lot of people feeling that way. Oh, I get this answer all the time when I ask people, what kind of music do you listen to? I ask, and they all say everything. Everybody says everything. Everything. I listen to everything. That's not the answer that I'm necessarily looking for, but I do have sort of an objective point of view to say, okay, everybody likes everything. All right, fair enough. Everybody likes everything. I've reached my conclusion. I've drawn the answer upon my question to return from it. Bilbo Baggins there and back again has determined everybody likes everything. Everybody listens to everything. I can see it now. I'll be out at the pearly gates or at the Bardo and saying, everybody listens to everything. Okay, everybody listens to everything. Great. Perfect. Well, we will send up a few more legions to wreak havoc and madness on the planet because everybody listens to everything. So, what does that actually make me then? Does that make me a shitty interviewer? Does that just make me like a shitty podcaster? And I'm still gonna probably just say that the answer is yes, and that it still doesn't fucking matter. I'm still gonna say that the shit still doesn't fucking matter, and I'm still gonna say I probably know that there's not gonna be a moderator of the platform come to me and say, you need to do specifically this, and this, and that we don't like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. But meanwhile, while all that fucking hype, whatever all that hypothetical shit is that's going on, I'm still down to read the newsletters. And I'm still down to read what suggestions that the staff and the employees that actually get paid money to moderate people like me and others to see what they say. And then maybe apply something that I've learned from that into my content. Who knows? I don't fucking know. You might subscribe to me right now and then listen to me, and then a few years down the line, if I'm already at season 8, I don't know what that says about a few years down the line, but it's literally, if there's anybody in that mental space, it's literally, if that's the case, because I'm 8 seasons in 18 months. In 18 months, I've performed 8 seasons of the show. If that seems a bit off balance and all this stuff, it's literally just a matter of... Oh, time ran out on talking about that because I will fucking lose my train of thought. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to stay on track. Here's one of the suggestions that they provided. So one of the suggestions, because I already started reading the newsletter and seeing what the staff has to say for YouTube. And here's one of the suggestions that they provided is, if you can, avoid adding in other people's content to avoid copyright strikes. It's in terms of copyright strikes that the whole fucking thing makes no sense to me. I swear to fucking God, I have no patience for it at all. It pisses me off. It's so frustrating. So is Spotify going to be the same thing? Yes, it'll be the same fucking thing. If you can avoid adding in copyrighted material of any kind, do so. Because there will be a lot of tolerance from a judge sitting in front of you saying you are guilty of copyright infringement. You now owe this sum of money to the owner of the copyrighted material. They'll just do that. That's the ultimate outcome. And maybe I'm not warning you against this or speaking from personal experience, but simply saying these are simply the instructions given to content creators. And that is probably all I can bear. That's probably all I can stand. I probably can't handle any more on that. You know, what fucking suggestions am I supposed to retain after that? Digital PTSD is a great way of probably describing it. I don't know. Maybe that's even fucking... Maybe even that's a no-go. Maybe even that's a no-fly zone. I mean, goddamn. I guess if the ultimate outcome of me blabbing, you're listening to me blab about music, and well, if you want to go, come to find out, if you want to go, this is an important thing for a lot of people putting podcasts out and for putting music out. That I mean, all the popularity of doing TikToks is just so for a reason. They don't want to go through all this fucking shit. They just want to put out a fucking little TikTok and all this other shit, and nobody's going to judge them there or fucking be an asshole about it. And that's where you would be mistaken, but that'll also lead you down a fucking sidetrack that I'm not going anywhere near any of that shit. I'm here. I'm in this fucking space and in this domain. I'm in this category of content creator where I'm doing this big boy, put on your fucking big boy pants. This is fucking big dog shit. But if you are making music under this, and there's plenty of others also doing the same thing. In fact, at the same time, literally, I also kind of sound like a dunce because I'm still having all these technical problems and having problems putting out shit that'll actually get me into certain of the proper channels, the proper orifices and things needing to be. I mean, I'll do stuff and then I'll take one look at it and say, no, that's not right. I need to correct that. And then when I return back to it later, whenever it is, to correct the mistake that I'm aware that I need to to make correct on, and then given this much trouble, that's where also I am. I am also here right now correcting things that need to be corrected and made straight. So it's not, I can't say it's not a lot of fun, because it should be obligatory that it should have to be fun. The whole fucking point, that's why I do this shit. But enough talking up in the air. What about other artists putting music out on this platform, right? Well, that's the easy thing. That's the easy thing to do for me. That's where, while I'm having all this fun and all that stuff, work hard, play hard, that's where I can help. And not only is that where I can help, I think a lot of people are having a shitload of a difficult time trying to find me due to the fact that I'm not only just willing, we're not talking up in the air at all. I'm posting tutorial videos and things that teach you music, specifically actual music theory lessons and guitar lessons are on my channels. So how the fuck is anybody supposed to find me and all this other stuff? How much can you leave up in the air? I don't know. It's cataclysm. It's the apocalypse. Everybody's frantically running around like a chicken with their heads cut off. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist to create music and put it on the platform. Okay, kind of coming back down to earth here. The music you're putting out as one thing. I got to deal with my tenure as a musician. That has a lot of its own personal demons and personal issues and stuff like that isn't necessarily as important to anybody else as it is important to me. And these are all things that will just gonna have to be stuff that comes out way later, I guess, in a memoir type dealio. But that is what I'm balancing and sort of risking while I'm busy doing all this stuff right now. It's just like losing touch with things that actually matter to me. I won't say I'm wasting my time though, because as I said, I feel pretty good about, and I'm proud of, and I'm not feeling productive, I am productive. So I feel proud about that. I feel good about it. And so, as my tenure as a musician, it's just I don't know. It's just me reaching a point where there ain't a lot that I could speak on at all. It just gets so dicey. It just gets so confusing. I mean, it just is. When you've been making music as long as I have, it gets confusing. It's not. It's like I want to talk about it so badly, but here you have it, the episode of genre mixing. Perfect time for it. Those mixing of genres was recently attempted. Literally as an experimental thing, even though I was already being experimental, I'm mixing a few genres and then saying, oh, holy fuck. This shit isn't working at all. It's literally not working. And so, because of the fact that it's literally not working, and I'm mixing genres when I'm already fucking using experimental styles and putting out an experimental style, I just flipped my top. I flipped my fucking lid. I blew a fuse. I flipped a tit. I had a fucking cow, and then had to do my normal fucking thing. It's just normal for me, but not everybody else. Furthering me into whatever is my predicament, circumstances, who I am, strengthening and fortifying who I am. And then while you're busy doing all that individuality stuff, I mean, it's a catch-22 there, and that's where it's confusing. I don't have much to speak on about it. But the genre mixing attempt, is probably even announced on some of these social medias for me to go back, come across it when I find it later on some kind of curating bit that I go on, or maybe I'm looking for something and then I come across this announcement that I put on. It was posted, the album art, it was an album, it was an EP, and the album art was posted onto Threads. Luckily enough, as I am saying, with the already experimenting and then wanting to do this genre mixing shit, I've already got all my fucking social media profiles under the proper lock and key and under control. I run a tight ship in Lion's Den Productions. So, whatever other is the further trouble with it just adds to my case. It just adds to my case. Is it really that important? Anybody and everybody at all is just gonna, is it really that important? Do you really care that much about it? Or whatever other shit that it is, other than just staying focused, I guess, keeping your eye on the prize, so to speak, and then not having any fucking debate, not up for debate. So what am I talking about it for? It's like the question maybe that I would, it's like bringing me further into more realizations over here, like, oh, so not only am I, when it comes down to it, kind of unable to speak on so many things, I must be causing that in other people too. And then isn't it defeating the purpose, or is that fitting right in? It's like, no, it's not. All that I can say is I'm a musician. I'm a musician that is experimenting with different styles of music. Those different styles of music that I'm experimenting with, to me, as usual, is just always very simple, very easy. I have a clear vision of it. And that puts me in a tight jam. That puts me in quite a spot, because who is clear-headed about much of anything at all right now, other than people who are just like totally recluse, gone off grid and all that. Any sensible person, I'm constantly playing devil's advocate, and it is not fucking helping my case at all. But nothing. As I said, it's not up for debate. Because I'm trying to add a but in there or something like that. Like, but nothing, whatever. I sound a little crazy, but that's because I think I seem to be needing gentle guidance right back on track here. To gently bring it back to the music here. I guess I don't see what a point that I was trying to make. Maybe there wasn't a point necessarily, I guess, as much as there was the genre mixing. What I want to do is of contrasting the genre mixing between myself, what I listen to, And then, so I've covered that. And then the genre mixing of what I make, I don't speak much on that. And there's no need as well, because I've also done an introduction. You can look back to episode 30-something for that. Episode 38 or something like that. The show is just a massive fucking plethora of, like, total gorge yourself on all kinds of free game, open range, grass-fed beef, gluten-free ass motherfucking shit, basically, I guess, from what I can perceive at this time. The other artists is where it would be time to speak on. So, like, other artists mixing genres, it's just quite simply put, you have, right, trap metal, you got acid jazz, you got new metal, mushroom jazz, I don't know, that's all their artists that they create. I mean, you would hardly have a lot of, like, all of the people I've interviewed on the show so far, you haven't heard much of the people mixing genres themselves in their creations, as there isn't much of that on the show so far. So, having that said, that goes right back to the beginning here. They still listen to everything. Everybody listens to everything. Which part of this is interesting? I mean, it's kind of difficult to really pull yourself up. You know, I would probably say to myself something like, I need something to pick me up, or an episode to pick me up, where I'm saying, like, don't let the depression get you down, or don't be depressed, or something. Don't be depressed, or something like that. But I won't, though, so I'm not gonna. And dudes, chicks, ladies and gents, ladies and germs. That's where I guess I'm tapped out. That's me tapped out, saying, I mean, I guess I don't know where I was going with this. I mean, this episode, I will say this. I mean, this is an episode of my show. I created the concept of the show because I invited an artist of a different genre that I wanted to interview on the show. They didn't respond, so I thought it best, and something has to go there. If I invite somebody on and they don't want to go on, so I thought it best to say, well, this is a different genre. I not only used to listen to their music, I still listen to their music, and from the whole fucking look of it, I can just take one look at it and be like, well, now I don't feel comfortable mentioning what artist that is, even though I've got their domain name and merch link on the show notes. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go to the show notes, check out what artist that is. Because you want to listen to their music. As I also want to listen to their music. I like their music. Want to buy some of their merch. And don those sporty jackets, skateboards that they got, all kinds of cool shit. Go check it out. The other link that's in there is a short of mine where I'm jamming out to one of their songs. His songs. This is a solo project. His project. It's not a project at all. It's the original formation of his music that he did with, I don't know, the mythology behind this artist. Let's do a subset. Let's do a subset of the segment here. Just a different segment. The fucking mythology behind this artist is massively grounded in deep first of all, deep interest. It is alluring. It draws you in. it's of an intellectual nature, big time. If you got any interest at all in expanding your vocab, the lyrics found in this are gonna get your rocks off. I'm still a real podcast, but I don't have brought to you by Blue Chew like all the other real podcasts. But that's where, maybe real podcasts, Blue Chew. Anyway, those fucking mythologies mentioned so far. I mean, that's just what it is. That's it. That's just all that you can. That's just all that I can say. You got to take the step. You got to take the step forward into this artist's music and learn about it. It is the literal red pill. Go take one and get in, get tapped in, get in the groove and get tapped in. But anyway, the lyrics are just of an etymological nature to stimulate your intellectual side. I'm gonna leave that on that note. The solo project from this artist, I'm focusing a lot on this specific artist, but there's a legion, quite literally, of other artists in this category of this genre that is so identical to the genre that I make and the community that I belong to, that these two things are kin. They're just side by side. They're twins. They're fucking blood brothers. Okay? And so anyway, the Legion that I mentioned is where I swear to God, I think I'm not able to speak on a whole lot because of that, because of the fucking massive legion. Aside from this one artist that I'm focusing on, is a bunch of other stuff that I haven't checked out enough. I will close that off on before I will wrap up with this artist. Fucking got the solo project that I just personally like it better, but therein lies the whole entire fucking reason that I can't ever say that I've delved enough into this shit. And what am I speaking on? The label, the artist, the groups? I don't know, guys. But the links are in the show notes, and you can check it out. I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do, because as I said, when I'm feeling, I listen to what I want to feel like listen to. When I'm feeling like listening to these artists, I go Spotify them. New albums that are out, new albums and all that stuff out. Forget about it. Go check out his fucking shit, homie. Go check it out. I've got to say though, this is long. Me love this group long time. Okay? So fucking tell him Mickey sent you. Anyway, I don't have promo codes. I could hardly probably say that much. But anyway, it's a thrill to speak on it as much as I can. But as I said, I can't speak on it anymore. I got to go back to what I'm trying to say about my own genre mixing, right? I guess what I'm trying to say is it acceptable? Is it tolerable? I'm trying to literally say, no, hardly. I think it's hardly tolerable to mix genres too much. That nut was busted in 1990. And the new metal's incarnation. there's nothing much that can fucking be done about it now. The new Lincoln Park is totally intolerable. Even seeing Fred Durst in his age is like, dude, oh my fucking god. There's no way possible, really, for me to see him say or do or depicted under the particular light that I want to see him seen. And then when and if he is perceived under the particular light that my soul craves from Fred Durst, it would literally just be uninteresting and kind of obsolete at that point, because that's just the exact and specific reaction that I had when I saw a live action South Park trailer starring Jonah Hill. I was like, this is tickling my funny bone. So please don't. And then, can you really say that? You know, where's all the words surrounding it from then? Where's all the words coming from surrounding live action Jonah Hill South Park? Where's all the words coming from surrounding this hypothetical? Just, guys, I guess boils down to whether are you a fan or not. And then you can reach the point where you have become who you actually are. And who I actually am is a 90s baby. And so are a lot of other people who grew up listening to this and grew up watching that and can somehow manage to scribe in your brain the concept that I've just left of the ways that I want to be are basically impossible. And then if the ways that I want to be are possible, then it just rubs everybody the wrong way. And if I keep not caring long enough, I think, and it's kind of like playing the cards right. I don't know. It's like all that is the authority of kind of policing the world. Speaking of South Park, policing the world, so to speak, to where that's a fucking load of malarkey. Okay? Because certain details about shit actually matters. Certain things details and certain details actually matter, and if you're in there like swimwear and in the groove and in the rhythm with those things, and if you are not in the rhythm with those things, like there's got to be an easy way to decipher the stuff if there are problems with people who are in the rhythm of things, if the people who are in the know, if that even would be what fucking matters. Lest we forget that the certain details matter. What you know is not what fucking matters, and you're gonna be fucking missing the whole point. I and this fucking underground gospel and this demonic sermon has reached you and tickled your fancy, tickled you pink, and floated your boat in a certain degree that would drive you to enjoy the end of the episode, then please do that, because I will see you next time. I will have a blowing in your mind. I am not tormenting the not going by straw. Taking the land alone of my men and nothing that power on me. I will I'm going on. I'm the final suffering crime and torment. And I know you're gonna just know all your ass. For a sword pain, I am dead. I am never die, judgment day. We like darkness and despair. I am not say your breath. I am your lost within and blood consciousness. I am all seeing and demon and everywhere. I am everywhere. I am nothing in nowhere. I am mine in your thoughts. In your breath, I'm the first within. In blood consciousness. On the promised wall of your own calamity, you feed me and I feel you in my turn of my clarity. I am water. Your demon. I war and murder your demon. I conquer anything you want. It's what I am made of. You buried me and I follow you. I am nothing. I am everything. I am in your thoughts, in your birth, I am the Pazmanian in blind consciousness, in the bottomless well of your own calamity. You paid me, and I paid you in my terrible clarity. I am your death, I'm decadence. I am nothing, I am everything, I'm omnipotent. I'm everything only more. what episode this is going to go on, but it's something I want to cover as a snippet on one of the episodes. That's an audition track that I did for a Russian melodeath. As you can hear in the guitar riffs, there's plenty of reasons why it's categorized as melodeath. Somewhat light distortion with refined kind of filter. Bueller has the category of melodeath, like, and stuff, okay? Just gonna go over that audition really quick because I've actually figured out what episode this is gonna go on. So this episode is on dead accounts, the graveyard of content creating. It's a band that's from Russia. They make melodic death metal. I've auditioned for them on the vocals. I want to kind of dichotomize this a little bit. I did the audition, first of all, in like the lotus posture, sitting Indian style. So that's just like, whoa, what? Okay. Then the vocals came out like that. Either way, I'm just like sitting down on the ground doing that. Maybe this could be a helpful and informative video with some tips, some structural tips for people trying to audition for bands. You never know. It could be, possibly, most likely could be. If, of course, the people who are interested in this find this content. But I think that's neither here nor there. Back on topic. Right back on topic. Don't sit down on the ground to do vocals. Unless that's your thing and you're doing it on video. I recorded these vocals audio only. Sent the email to the band. The MP3 file. With the backing track playing at the same time as recording the vocals, that's the quality that you're hearing, why it doesn't have beginner alert. It's not lo-fi. It's not lo-fi black metal or lo-fi mellow death metal or lo-fi death metal or lo-fi metal. It's not lo-fi. It's my backing track on that audition is played at the same time as recording the vocals. Thus, it sounds like that. And what am I going on about anyway? Really? Well, let me answer my own question. Right? The reason that I'm doing this, and talking about this, is, well, it's not one failed audition, but two failed auditions. Two that I want you guys to know about it, and I want myself to learn from it, and I want you guys to like and enjoy the music. I mean, I reached out to, again, going back to the band, I reached out to the band again, and they're still current. They have some new Instagram posts out from what I saw. But listening to their music in the flood of all the music that I'm listening and scouting out, guests on the show, I couldn't do anything but like it. But looking back on it, retrospectively, actually, I didn't like it. I didn't like their new stuff anyway. Honestly, I really didn't. Overproduced. Overproduction equals I don't like. under that context that I'm trying to find a band I auditioned for based out of Russia that has a potential pig squeals. I think that's why I didn't like it. They told me that specifically what kind of vocals that they were going for when I was conversing back and forth with them through email. I didn't have it. Thus, I didn't get the part as vocalist. Didn't make the cut as vocalist for this band. The band's name is Antagonist. So look them up, Antagonist-based Russia death metal band. Pretty sure you're gonna find out pig squeals like they were telling me that they wanted. So what the fuck is up with that? You know, it's a big question mark. I have to do an episode or at least a snippet on an episode about that. Anyway, that's literally quite enough of that ranting and raving. Let's get back to the episode of Baltimore.